Hi everybody. So I, first I thought PinePhone was really sucking, and Microsoft has always sucked, but they're really sucking a lot lately. Now, IT advice websites are also starting to suck. You ever heard of AskWoody.com? It's a site I've gone to for many years. However, I've not been going there much anymore. Not since the guy who used to run it, Woody, I guess, retired. Had some health issues, and I guess he's getting old. And he decided to pack it in and let the younger generation look after it. But what I found is they've changed the site drastically. Their advice is becoming very bad, and it's very bad this month. And I'm going to read you their advice this month, and comment on it. And you can't. They won't give you any information without signing up for something and paying money. So it's become a pretty useless site. And anyway, I want to explain to you how it works here. So they have a DEFCON system like the U.S. Army. DEFCON 1 through 5. One is bad, 5 is good. And they're at DEFCON 3 right now. And the top article on the front of the homepage is MS DEFCON 3. Ready or not, it's time to update. It's not exactly an all clear. Normally this is the time in the update cycle when I give the all clear when it's most, if not all, of the side effects and patches have been identified. This month, unfortunately, there are still issues. However, this doesn't mean I don't want you to install updates. Even though there are these documented problems with network printing after the October updates, they are not widespread. Many system administrators report that printing problems often occur when the operating system of the server hosting the server is older and possibly unpatched, while the workstations are the newer platforms that are patched. Therefore, after installing the updates to your peer-to-peer network, make testing printing your first step. If you can print, leave the updates installed and pat yourself on the back. If you are impacted by the October updates and do have printing issues, consider your situation carefully before you install and block updates. There are several vulnerabilities this month targeting malware attacks. I'm paraphrasing now. My ongoing philosophy is that when the risk of being unpatched is higher than the risk of applying a patch, then it's time to install updates. I also don't want to go a month without installing an update unless there's a reason for doing so, and it's very clear. Well, I got some comments for you. Right? That's not your job. That's my job. I just want information from you. I'll decide what the risks are, not you. Anyway, and it's I think it's a woman. She says normally this is the time in the update cycle when I give an all clear. Well, no, it's not a time factor. It's not 1 week till the end or till the next update. It's when it's appropriate. There's no clock ticking where you go, oh, it's time. It's got nothing to do with time. It's got to do with that you know what's going to happen and you can mitigate it. Not hope for the best, hold my nose and put the patches in and hope like hell and pull them out again when it sucks. I'm sorry, that's terrible advice, and I'm not going to take it. It's unbelievable. So this started in July, all because of a alleged security problem with Print Spooler, and it's now October, and we still have printing problems. What's going on at Microsoft? Back in 2015, Microsoft got rid of all the people who used to test all these patches thoroughly before they released them, and now all these all the old guard who made everything work well and were always very secure in how we did things, they've all retired, and now we've got all these young people who all got a trophy in school for participating and never really achieved anything, and now they're running the show, and this is the result of that. We have crappy patches from poor writers, and we have crappy advice from poor IT administrators who are too busy running websites and rather than looking after customers. And that's the worst advice. The big key here is if you have a vulnerability that only a Microsoft patch is going to save you from, you got bigger problems. You should have multiple layers of security. You should have a bi-directional filtering firewall with the ability to block that kind of shit. And you should also have endpoint security, again, with the ability to block that kind of shit. So you can just skip the fucking patch forever until they get it right, and not have to hold your nose and install a patch that's going to break stuff. Why would any sane IT person want to recommend doing that? None would in my day. But now apparently it's okay, because it's not their problem if you can't print, because they're going home at 5 o'clock. Anyway, let's continue, shall we? Here's their advice to business users. I'm sorry to say that business users might not be so confident. You are more likely to experience problems. If you do, there are several options. Uninstall the updates and block them until next month. I don't know how that's a solution. The patches are cumulative. Aren't you going to get the same bad patch next month built into the next month's updates? I'm pretty sure you are. The second one is to install one of the preview updates that Microsoft will be releasing soon. So this is one of those advanced look at the next bad patch to see if it's any better than the last bad patch. That's bad advice as well. I would do neither of those things. I would not patch at all. Right now, I have many clients in various levels of patch state. None are current. Some are 6 months behind because they have other issues to deal with, and they need to operate a business that can print. I can't have people not being able to print invoices. They got to ship orders out. Companies are struggling to stay in business because they're being shut down. Their staff is being fired, and it's got to be the worst situation I've ever experienced in IT support. So the key is, if you're relying on Microsoft patches to save you from something, you got big trouble, pal. You better take a look at your firewall products and your endpoint protection and change them if they're not going to protect you from these problems. Never have only one solution to any kind of threat. Have multiple layers of threat mitigation. That as soon as they knock down the first one, they run into the second one. They knock down the second one, they run into the third one. And hopefully they don't get you. But to just blindly patch on somebody's advice, even after they say they have no idea, they have no idea what's going to happen. Just do it anyway and hope for the best is not a solution. And I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop going to this site because I don't need advice. I used to come here because I used to get sound advice, but now I'm getting crackpot advice, and I'm not coming anymore. And I recommend you do the same. Thanks for listening, everybody. And oh, by the way, don't buy PinePhone. They're also made by the same guys who write the software for Microsoft.